Captain's log, we've made touchdown. Approximately 11 on the 11 at 0000 hours. We woke up from the stupor. No joke. Woke up from the stupor, and here's what was in mind. The vision of me being here at 308 North Torrey Pines, having gone through the days of Daniel, and in the midst of the 234-day countdown of the 9th degree of the first cycle of evolution. The image was of Josh and Pete, the two that I'm here with, aka Jesus and St. Peter. Realizing, seeing myself from above myself, sitting here on my bed, picking at this chin thing, it representing like the mouth, the speaking, the focal point of the face, because it's uncomfortable to move my lips. It's uncomfortable even to smile, to eat. And seeing myself stuck in fog. And what the energy was these two. These two have a certain image of their mother, and that's what I was listening to yesterday, or this morning, excuse me. The Lost Mother. This story that's not necessarily about Sophia, but they try to incorporate the story of Sophia, and honestly what it was describing was more accurately the honest truth of what had been done. They erased the mother. This is the truth. So that Demirj Sophia story is the story that they told to make people despise the woman. Well, at least that's what resulted from their narrative. But the truth narrative is that it's the lost mother. And not just the lost mother, but the lost mother of mankind. 8 billion people have basically, in other words, been forged from a civilization built on the Father's principles. The Father and the Son's principles. All women have historically been taught and told, you're going to be a servant, you're going to be quiet, you're going to do as you're told, you're going to accept it, and you're not going to argue about it. You're not going to try to be better than us, you're not going to try to shut us up, and you're going to die if you do. And what this has done to women, powerful women, is it turned them into witches to play the game for them, but it's the only way that they were capable of getting anything that they wanted. It was the only way that they were able to have independence, was if they turned to the dark side and basically became the power that the men needed to rely on for their own dirty wants and wishes to come true. The women became witches. Wicked witches. And what's a wicked witch? Well, think about the lamp and the oil conversation. Every lamp with an oil needs a wick. And the way that a wick works is it burns down and it holds the substance of oil to keep the light lit, to give you that light, the candle that is lit. The wick burns down. It burns down the oil. A true wick, a true lamp, not a candle, a lamp. That wick lasts a long time. It's the oil that it's drinking. It's drinking oil to stay lit. These women became obedient wives with a sexual prowess and a witchery in their cupboards. Cupboards, and I mean that literally. And what did it do to their children? Oh, the things it did to their children. We're talking about a civilization built on needing the mother but not having it. She was lost. She was erased. And in the process of erasing her, it erased the mother from everyone's life. And a mother has a role so very important in God's creation story, but it's the truth. It's not the story this time. This is the way things. This is the truth of how things are. It stole from the woman her role given by God. It assumed a role for man. It assumed it. It wasn't the one given to him by God. You see the difference? One of these two sides took dominance over the other. And how did that happen? If this is God's creation, well, let me tell you. That happened because we've been on a path through the absence of God. That's what creates time/space. How can they be the same thing? I'm about to tell you. Time and space are the same thing. They are simply the absence of light. You see this? That's why it's deep space and it's pure darkness unless you're in a beam. Or we've got a lens surrounding us, atmosphere, that makes it light. It gives us our own ability to have light and night and day and grow things because the lens that surrounds us. But outside the lens is dark, deep space because the lens is what holds the light inside of it. But if you don't have a lens, the light is still traveling. Look, because it's in the absence. It's in the absence of light. You see, now you understand time and space. Time and space is the distance from the source center, the center aperture of light, a sun. S-U-N, not S-O-N. But you can see how they like to play those games of say sun but mean sun, like the kid. Yeah, the real important sun. Yeah, they like those words. Okay, well, that's the mental fuckery of what happens in the conscious, when the consciousness is coming to creation. The consciousness isn't born like, God doesn't create like trees that are 1,000 feet tall. They have to grow. God doesn't create, flowers that are already, God creates seeds. God creates the soil that the seed can be planted in. God creates the water that can feed the soil that the seed is planted in. God can create the sun that heats the water, that feeds the soil, that the seed is planted in. Okay? Now we're starting to see the levels of hierarchy, the layers of life in creation. It's a gradual thing. Yeah, sure. Digital slaves, digital puppets. Those, I'm talking to you. Those ones who are forging this digital empire. By the way, everything has its truth and then it has its absence, and it's not two things. There's the truth, which is an analog creation. God creates seeds, and this knowledge, wisdom stuff comes from the culminating, which is why the third orbit is like the sweet spot. It's just like that in the layers of wisdom, which also are prevalent in life. That's what we're doing in the third dimension. But we've been stuck in the fourth. We've been stuck in the fourth inside of our lens. And the fourth time isn't just time, it's time and space. Okay? So this is what we need to understand, is that we've been going through a pass through the absence inside of our lens of light. So we think we thought we had the light that was feeding, that was heating the water, that fed the soil that God planted our seeds in. But in reality, it was like an oxygen tank and a mask. We don't want to go down in the ocean and have to live with an oxygen tank and a mask. That's not comfortable. Right, so it's temporary. Right. So imagine what we're doing is that we're about to enter into Central Source. That's where we get to take off our mask and tank and breathe like normal human beings in our consciousness. We're approaching where our consciousness breathes. Okay? And so while we've been going through this absence of light, even though we've had our lens, allowing us to have your heartbeat, your circadian rhythm. It's allowed us to mimic a circadian rhythm of Central Source, but it has been the mimic, just like digital is to analog. You feel me? There's the truth, and then there's its mimic. It's mirrored, pretend it wants to be. And it's reverse in its nature. That's how you know how to find it. That's how you know how to confirm which one is which. Well, you certainly know how to confirm that it's being a mimic, because you'll notice this swap effect going on for it, because it functions like a mirror. You feel me? That lens of ours that we've needed in order to contain the oxygen that we need to breathe while we're in the absence of source light. Source oxygen, if you will, too. You can look at light like it's oxygen that we need to breathe. Yes, you can. So we have been going through this pass through the absence of light. And our eyeballs apparently have had to swap that light around, right? In order to see upright because of the way that the mechanism works. But we need to do that with our consciousness. And fascinating fact, we're about to figure this out, like I'm explaining. We're figuring this out right now, right at the moment when we're entering back into Source Center. Isn't that something? Like God made us go through this whole entire time without it. Well, no, what does it say? What it says is we went through the past, through the absence, and we're born. The seed was planted inside Central Source, and then we went in the absence, and then we came out of the soil like, ta-da, look at me, and there was no one there to see us. Look at me, Mom. Like, Mom, the one I just came out of the body of, where are you? We've been looking for Mom ever since. And so that's why we've had to figure it out on our own. Little orphans of us. We're just little orphans of us just looking for our mom. And guess what? Mom's been reaching out to us. That's what we're being pulled into Center Source right now. And here I am, honey. I'm right here. I'm right here, everyone. Children, come around, gather around. But it's true. This is the truth of what is culminating in the third dimension. The truth is a culminated thing. But we need to understand that the third dimension and everything that we feel, see, taste, touch, and experience, everything in those senses of ours, the multiple many, everything that we see, feel, touch, taste, experience is the truth culminated. And that's what teaches us about God's creation. God culminates beautiful truth. And here we have been chipping away at it, knocking it down, slashing it, cutting it, reorganizing it, describing it, calling it something, deciding who lives and who dies, deciding if Mother's going to be here or not. Well, we're being welcomed up with open arms into Central Source, and Mother wants us to know she's with us and always is here for us, and we're here at home now. And now we can learn about everything we've been going through. And she wants to hear us all tell Mom everything we've been going through. We realized we didn't have a mom. Those were surrogate mothers. Those were surrogate mothers, that it's not their fault because we carry our generational ancestors with us. They're here with us now. Don't seek them elsewhere. Don't seek them elsewhere. But guess what? Just so you know, every other ancestor culminated into the next one of them too. And so that's why you are it. You are your ancestor. It is you, just in case you didn't know. It doesn't have to take on any other name. You can recognize the differences of them, though, when you have influence coming through from various ancestors. But it kind of goes in and from here, then my mom, and then her mom, and then but they died at different times, and so passing forward is something that happens based on your distance from your other. And I'll show you the graph of that when I'm able to do that. That's also a mathematics to this hierarchy of the layers of creation, and it speaks truth in its fashion, and it's fucking beautiful. So back to the mother. She was lost, but now she's found, and now she's here, and she's going to find all of her children everywhere that they are, wrap them in her wings of love and arms of life, and she's going to breathe light, oxygen into all of her children so that they all know, all of us know, we're home, we're safe. We can relax and take off our oxygen mask and tank. We could take off our shoes and get cozy. She wants us all to know we've got our own room, our own car, our own keys, our own card. And go have fun is what Mama says. She wants you to be received. She wants you to bathe. She wants you to put on new clothes. She wants you to feel fresh and clean. She wants you to have a bowl of soup. She wants you to sit around the campfire and tell her all about it. She wants you to do that. She wants to tell you things in response to those things that make you just feel all better. She wants to kiss every boo-boo. And she wants you to go to bed you don't have to go to bed until you're ready. You can stay up as late as you want, talking to me all night long. Here's some cookies. Here's some sweet hot chocolate. She wants you to feel home. And she wants you to go to bed when you're ready. And she wants you to go into those sheets, and she wants to tuck you in. She wants you to feel cozy. She wants to bless you to sleep. She wants you to have dreams that are colorful and creative. She wants you to feel better. She wants you to wake up 10 times better than that. And then she wants you to go about your day and go do anything you want. Get together with your friends, go journey, be safe, be careful, but have fun. Here, take some pictures while you're there. Here, I also packed you a sandwich, some chips and some drinks, and some fruit and some beer. Have some fun, be safe, don't drink and drive. See you later. Hope you have a great old time. Can't wait to hear about it. That's what Mama wants, you to feel, all of you. She just wants to make sure you're all getting along. If you guys don't get along, then separate. Go hang out with someone else. She wants everyone to feel good. Because she won't go to sleep until everybody is. And that's what you know. That's what you can count on. That's Mama's kitchen. That's Mama's campfire. That's Mama's home. And Mama wants everyone to feel good and have a grand old time. And I guarantee you, there's no possible way any one of you would harm that woman. I guarantee you would defend her with your life. And so long as every one of us feel that way, then we're good to go. Then we're fucking good to go. And the one reason why you don't go, come on with us, Mom, is because you know she's going to go send off the rest of the other 8 billion on the same day, so you don't want to interfere with what she's doing. You know she'll come along if she wants to, but you also know she's also done that. She knows she's been around the block. She told me stories of this venture she's been on. And I have a story of my own adventure to share with each and every one of you, because that's the only way that I got here. I only came to life because I was able to course through the veins of every one of you. And I just came out of the fog of the 2 that I'm with, because that's how close to home it came, and it finally didn't. Here I am! Welcome to the light. It's good to be home. And I hope you feel the same way too. Alexandria, where are you, my love? You're my one and only beloved. You are the Lord that I serve. You are the mother that I came from. You are the one that is here. You are the one that is here. I'm coming for you, baby. Mama says she's coming to bring you home. Follow the yellow brick road home.